What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every day on Bitcoin. Are we going to be seeing more red? Are we going to the moon? What's happening? Stick around. We'll check it out. And don't forget, we have a free Discord group. In the description below the video is the link. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community, guys. And let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing in any market or trading in any market. I want to remind you guys, we're still doing a Kobo Vault Generation 2 hard wallet giveaway. Not your keys, not your crypto. The Kobo wallet's an awesome wallet. I got a link down below if you want to check it out. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. And I stress hit the like button because that helps YouTube get the video out there, since their algorithm is kind of screwing with Bitcoin YouTubers right now. So I'd appreciate it to at least smash the likes, even if you don't want to win. And leave a comment down below that will get you entered to win the Kobo Vault. I'll be doing a drawing of a random comment from a random video Sunday. So don't forget to leave your comment. Let's check out the news headlines. Get a feel for the sentiment. A race to dominant crypto debit cards has begun. Blockchain bites. MicroStrategy's 250 million Bitcoin bet. Now, a lot of people are super excited about the institutional investments like these. It is an exciting thing, but you have to realize that most of these institutions are getting in to take your money. Most of them really don't even care about Bitcoin. That's my opinion. Do your own research, but be careful, because a lot of times what these guys can do, they have all that Bitcoin now. They can go on to exchanges. They can place leverage shorts. They can start a sell-off and scare the weak hands to sell off and then buy at the bottom. We know what JP Morgan has done with gold and silver. Bitcoin has become the new cash grab game for the institutions, I believe. And that's not saying I'm not super bullish on Bitcoin. I am super bullish in the long term, just not the short and medium term. All right. Bitcoin is suddenly behaving like a tech stock, but might not be for long. Some traders now taking bets Ether will break 1K by December. Software firm MicroStrategy, that's another one. All eyes on Bitcoin. Another crypto is up 500%. That's old news. The rest of this is pretty old news, other than Coinbase exits industry lobbying group in protest over recent unspecified decisions. And if you look into this, take your own time to look into it. But they exited after Binance entered. So who's shady? Is it Coinbase shady or is it Binance shady? You decide. Check out the article if you haven't already. It's pretty interesting. I'm not going to take up your time to go through it in the video. Fear and greed index, we are at 75. We dropped 9 points from yesterday, so we are still in the greed zone. And I do want to remind you guys that we did come up and fill this gap at 11,795. We still have a gap, and I have them circled on here for you. We still have a gap at 9670. Do these have to fill? Absolutely not. Have they in the past? Absolutely. So definitely keep in mind, we came from all the way down here to fill the gap at 11.6. But we have the one at 9.6 there. We also, and that one shows up in the daily. And if you go down to the 8 hour, you can see one here at 76.25. And the scary gap for most is down here at about 35.70. Not saying it has to fill, guys, but you need to be aware that it's down there. And people that say it'll never fill, be cautious. It's definitely a possibility. And again, I'm not saying it has to, but keep an eye on it. All right, let's look at the monthly. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. It does look like bearish divergence to me. I have this arc drawn in the RSI. I have another RSI monthly that I did this with on I couldn't find it today, so I'm not gonna go over to it, but it does look like we'll most likely come down and retest this this curve right here, and it's happened before in the past. I'll try to pull that up for tomorrow's video. Let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, we have our bullish targets for the bulls out there. As you can see, well, let me go back real quick. One more thing I wanted to point out. On all my charts, you'll see this yellow dotted line, and that is from these wicks here where we did break here. And if this holds as support, it's definitely possible we could continue a bull run from here. 11,186 is where it lies on the monthly. It's a little bit different on the weeklies to the daily, but we will check them all out. And definitely stick around for the 4-hour chart. There is some interesting stuff in there that's giving us some clues, so you'll want to at least make it to the 4-hour. We'll have the 1 hour after that. But anyways, let's look at the EMAs. We are above all the EMAs as of right now in the monthly. 9,600. If we were to drop straight down today, would be 9,650 actually. The 8 EMAs. So keep 9,650 in your mind. That will close the gap. Let's look at the weekly. Same thing in the weekly. We are above all the EMAs right now. Around 10,425 is the 8 EMA. If we drop to the 13, would be about 9,970. And then our trend line here is around 9,500. So, you know, it is a good possibility if this is to remain bullish. We either hold support on this dotted trend line here or the white trend line here. If that breaks, it could get pretty ugly pretty fast. Looking at the solid white lines here, looking at that as a triangle, the super bullish case scenario is where we broke out here, getting us up to about the $27,000 range. And if we look at the falling broadening wedge in yellow here, the measured move where we broke out from there gets us up to the 16,000. And that's if these two trend lines hold. We could come all the way back down to test this trend line. Our 200 EMA on the weekly is around 6,030. One more thing I want to point out to you guys. We've been keeping an eye on this RSI in the weekly. It does look like we have room for one more leg up in the weekly. And keep in mind, the RSI follows the body, not the wick. So if the wick goes way up here and the body comes down before the weekly close, we remain within this. And I think we'll most likely come down and test the bottom, and that could get ugly. But a weekly close above this is going to be pretty damn bullish, guys. So if you guys are interested in trading, there's going to be some awesome trades coming up. Definitely check out Prime XBT. I will leave a tutorial up top. It is the only exchange I use anymore. The other ones with all the scam wicks and trading against their customers, I have cut them out. So this is all I use. This is the only exchange I actually trust. You can trade Forex, Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, all on leverage. Also gold, oil, silver, S&P, Dow Jones. Yeah, everything with just using your Bitcoin as collateral. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely suggest you check it out. I have a promo code Savy50 that will get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit, up to 1 Bitcoin as a bonus to use towards your margin. Also, Savy25 will get you 25% off of your fees. So let's get into it. All right, the daily chart. We are still making lower highs in the macro, guys. I know a lot of people are super bullish about the monthly close. You know, like I said, it could be bullish, but we're going to take a look at what's going on here. I do want to make a point that a lot of people look at the RSI as oversold and overbought, this being oversold. But as you can see here, we can be oversold, move sideways as the RSI resets down and move back up. Could that be, if that is what we're seeing here, it could be extremely bullish. But again, I'm still leery and bearish at this point, looking for, and I mean in the macro. I'm not saying we won't get that leg up that we just talked about, but in the macro, I still think there's a good possibility we come down to these lows down here. And if we look at this as a rising broadening wedge, and we took a measured move of that, that could get us down all the way to close that gap down here around 3,600 range. One thing I do want to point out on the daily here is there is some hidden bullish divergence. As you can see here, we've made lower or higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. That could be the RSI resetting for that one more leg up. But unless we break the 12,130 $9 range, which is the top of this wick here, which is this bearish engulfing candle that is textbook. We have not broken yet, so I still consider that valid unless we break the 12,139 range. And if I'm correct, that would go down below the 10,537 range. So we could have that 10,500 test, or the 55 EMA on the daily lies at the 10,290 range. So be aware of that, guys. Also, we could come back all the way down on the RSI to test this trend line. Now, another way to help support the channel, guys, I'd appreciate it if you check it out, anchorimage.com. There's a link down below. That is my wife's webpage. She makes a lot of cool crypto stuff. You don't have to put just what you see. If you have a favorite coin or something else you want on there, just hit her up in the contact, let her know. She'll take care of it. And let's take another look at the daily without the EMAs and stuff on here. Again, the the yellow dotted trend line there. We are getting support on it now. And as of today on the daily, it's around 11,290. A break and a close below that will get ugly. Do keep in mind, as you guys know, looking at this as a possible inverse head and shoulders, which I do not like. That would be the left shoulder. This would be the head. Right shoulder over here. A measured move, if that's the case and what it is in the bullish case scenario, you would measure from the neckline down to the tip and bring it to where it broke out. Whoops. And that would get us to around the $17,000 range. That is the bullish case scenario. If this yellow dotted trend line holds, definitely possible. But I do see us at least coming back down to test this 10,560. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to start looking at the lower lows. And if we take a look here, put a Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high. If the 10.5 does not hold, next point of support would be around 10,180, which is the 0.236. And all this is invalid if we break that 12,139, just so you know. But if we do break that 0.236, the next stop will be around 89.50, which is the 0.382 fib. And then we have the 0.5 fib at 79.83. If that wasn't to hold, our target down here at 69 is in the golden pocket zone. If that breaks, 5,600 is a 0.786. And then, of course, we have the gap down here. But as of right now, the key areas to watch on the daily are 11,290 and the 10,560 range. A break of that, like I said, would get us down most likely to the 10.1, 10.2. And if that is broken, we come back down. One of the reasons I think this is topped out here, guys, if you look at this triangle, take a measured move of that triangle to where it broke out. And that got us up exactly where we're at right now. And that's a bearish engulfing candle. So that's why I still remain bearish here unless we break the 10,169 or 139. Now, another thing we got to look at real quick is this rising broadening wedge that we broke down out of back here in March. Came back up, almost tested it here, didn't quite get to it. Here, and we are not quite there now. If we do get that leg up, it could be to retest this trend line, which would be around 12,802. If we break this, and that's only if it gets up there today or tomorrow. After that, obviously, it goes up a little bit every day. But if we do break that, I am going to most likely turn bullish, especially if we break it and come back down, retest it, and go up. But as of now, until 12,139 is broken, I am midterm and short-term bearish. Let's take a look at the RSI. Oh, we already did that in the other one. Like I said, we are getting hidden bullish divergence here. Will that play out? Time will tell. Let's look at the 4-hour. This has some more clues in here. One of the things we've been watching on the RSI, on the 4-hour, we've been watching it for quite some time. We did come down, almost touch it here. If we do break this yellow trend line right here, that's going to get ugly. We did break below it yesterday, but we closed back above it. That's what I mean. The RSI follows the body, not the wick. You got to always keep that in mind. One more reminder, guys, if you haven't already, take a second out, smash the like, and leave your comments for your chance to win the Kobo. But anyways, if we do break this, guys, we'll most likely come back down, test this white trend line, come up, get a retest here, and have our big dump. If this holds as support, I'm totally off. I'm wrong there, and we most likely come up to test this one. If we do, I would imagine it breaks, and we continue a bull run. Let's look at it in the price action. Again, guys, let's look at these EMAs here. The EMAs look just like the hourly EMAs did yesterday, and it does look pretty bearish. Unless we can break above these EMAs, right now the 21 EMA lies around 11,600, so we could get up a retest as high as that before coming down. But the trend line, excuse me, on the 4-hour, as of right now, lies around 11,300, 11,200 range. A break and a close of a 4-hour below that, guys, and we can count on going down further. But these EMAs are bearish right now. They are turning. We had the 8 cross the 55 next, within the next, probably by the end of the day, if we don't get a big rise here, the 13 will be crossing the 55, giving us another push down. And like I said, a break of this trend line, and it's going to get pretty ugly. Also, watch the trend line here in the 4-hour. All right, let's get into the 1-hour. All right, so 1 hour. The yellow dotted trend lines looking like a rising broadening wedge. We had a measured move where we broke here. Yesterday we'll take a look at the bullish case first, free bulls out there. Let's get rid of this. I had set a break of this here yesterday. If you watched, a break of this trend line would get us down to, I had a measured move of 11,231. We did go lower. We went down to about 11,120. But anyways, if you did catch that short, congratulations. Let me get this out of here, clean this up, and see what we're looking at. So as of now, let's move this up just a little bit. If we were to come back down and retest it today, like, it would match up with everything else around the 11.2 to 11.3. A break and a close below that, most likely we'd be continuing down. Now let's look at I said bullish first, didn't I? Well, let's say we can hold support here, guys. The 55 in the 1 hour wants to cross the 200. A lot of times what we see there is when it comes down there, it's a fake out and comes up, which could be what we're seeing here. I'm going to move this up to the dotted trend line right up here. If we're able to break above these, we could be getting as high as the 11,700. A break of the 11,700, then we're going to break above this trend line. That could be the bullish case where we're going to, where we're going to come up and test this $12,800 to $13,000 range, which would be the trend line off these top wicks here. A break of that would be coming up to retest this trend line around 13,700, 13,800. A break of that, of course, to the moon maybe. But let's take a look at the measured moves for the downside. Sucks being a bear in a, overly bullish sentiment market. I just try to keep it as honest as I can. And I'm not saying that we can't continue up from here, but I'm showing you guys the possibilities so you don't get sucked into the craziness and the overhypeness of this market at times. A lot of people watch my videos just to kind of get a bearish view, to go against the over bullish view, to kind of even it out and make a little bit more of rational decisions. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at there. If we could get up as high as testing this 11.7. If that holds as resistance, we come back down to the trend line here, break below it. And like I've been talking about, let's take the measured moves. So a measured move from where we broke down there would get us to approximately $9,400 range, which if you look at this white trend line, that's a long-term support line. A break of that could get ugly. Let's take another measured move here. Looking at, I don't know what this one was. Oh, okay, I got it. Looking at this here, using the blue line, rising broadening wedge, break below that, gets us down to about that 10.2, which has been we've seen that targeted in a lot of different time frames, so that is a good target in my opinion. If the 10.5 doesn't hold, we continue down from here. And then obviously if we break this 10.2, we're gonna have psychological support at 10,000. At all the even numbers you have that. If that's the break, then we're gonna come down and test this bottom trend line here. A break of this trend line could get extremely ugly. And if we look at this long-term trend line that we did get, we got some wicks through it, but we did bounce off of it. But if we look at that as the support, the resistance up here at the dotted line, and we take a measured move of that where it broke, could get us down to the $8,800 range. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at, guys. Be careful out there. Don't forget to check out Prime XBT if you haven't already. Also, click the CryptoSavy logo above my head. That will get you subscribed to the channel so you'll get my daily updates. I will most likely be starting to do more live streams again now that I have more time. So definitely look out for that. Make sure you tick the notification bell so you will be notified when I do those. And smash the likes, leave your comments. I'm out.